Welcome back, Jewels and Gems, to my channel. Before we get started, I'm going to try to make this as short as possible, but please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I always forget to tell y'all to do that. But you guys are wondering, ever since, I've really been out of the club, what am I doing as another means of income? Of course, I still have YouTube. I still have OnlyFans. I still have my regular job. And then I found out about this. Okay, so before we actually start this video, I'm gonna insert small clips that may be reinserted into this video, Jewels and Gems, and it just kind of gives you a little overview of how my week kind of went. I didn't vlog and record as much because I have put this in my weekly and weekend vlogs before, but on here you'll be able to see the process of how you end off your shift, and how you scan products into your car, and then ways to close out your shift and start up and look for more offers. So all this will be included, and I will be doing voiceovers so that you guys will be able to see it. But nevertheless, if there's something that you did not understand or I forgot to put in, please insert your comments below and let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. If there is a referral link, I will put it in my description / pin comment. Yeah, if I can find one. If not, you guys just type in Amazon Flex and it'll be a yellow app with a white X like this on there. You click it and you can sign up, and that's it, you guys. So let's get straight into the video. This clip was originally a 4-minute clip, but I just want to show you realistically how sometimes you'll sit on there the whole time and there's no offers, and you'll constantly have to refresh and refresh and refresh, waiting for offers. I don't remember if an offer came up or not on this screenshot, but I kind of wanted you guys to see how you can be on here for a really long time. Like I was saying, you can be on here for a really long time with no orders showing up. But the best way to get an order is to stay on there and constantly refresh until one pops up that you can try to go ahead and snag. We are back. Today is Thanksgiving, and I have 48 or 43 packages in here, and I am exhausted. We are going to Tampa, and I absolutely hate Tampa. I just went to Tampa Tuesday and got pulled over. So let's see how this works. And Tampa has a lot of gated communities. Let's get this in there. Let's go. So on here, you'll be able to see how I'm just scanning each package out of the cart. And I have my own little system where I alphabetize them. So it looks like I'm just throwing them around, but every stack has a different letter. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear the scanning noise over the voiceover. But when you scan something that is incorrect or the wrong label, it will give you that red X ant sound, and then when you do it right, it'll go ahead with the green, and you'll know that you can proceed to the next package. Now at night, it's best to keep your flash on at the top where you see it, the flash on, because it's really dark and it's really hard, even with the best light at night, to actually get that scan in, and it takes a lot longer if you don't keep the flash on. And so what will happen is when you pull over and you're about to scan a package in your car, it'll already have that flash, so you won't have to worry about that. But as you can see, the more packages I scan correctly, it increases the number of, say right now it's 20 out of 48 packages scanned, and it'll just keep going until you get all of them. If you are missing any packages, there is a process where you'll have to go in and mark all the ones that you don't have in your cart that are supposed to be in your cart. But nevertheless, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys finish watching me scan in, and I just wanted to let y'all know what I was actually doing.
This whole thing is filled to the rim, child.
Okay, so on here, I wanted you guys to be able to see how it is when you're actually delivering the package. So as you can see in my camera, I'm walking up to the front door. I'll sit the package down, boop. Then I'm going to take a picture. It process it, use this, swipe it. We're going to the next one. On here, I check out the name. It gives me navigation. And when I do get back to the car, what I will do is go ahead and look for that package before I'm even there. So I already have it. So we're moving on to the next one. I'm about to show you guys. See how the delivery, the navigation, I have it muted so you can't hear it, but it'll show you just how many minutes away you are. And it tries its best to show you realistically where the house is as far as from what we consider the actual road. So you can see this house is pushed back from the street, and you won't be able to deliver it unless you are as close as possible to that. So we're going to go ahead and speed this up, and I'll show you guys when I open up my camera what's going on. Now, this one's a little tricky. I'm going to go ahead and scan it. See, it wouldn't go through, so I had to do it again. And there we go. That's the correct package. I have 2 more packages left. This is one of my last ones, but I wanted to kind of show you guys how the process goes when you're first scanning it in. And you see how I'm now going to open my camera to show you guys. Sometimes you don't actually got to go to their front door. They'll have these nifty little things that say drop all packages here, this, that, and third, and you'll select safe area. You take a picture with the sign included, and you swipe it like you did every other, and then you go on. And this is my very last one for that day. Now, this one is the last one for this route, and I want to show you, sometimes I do get lost because it is really confusing, especially with these directions. Sometimes they suck. So I did end up getting lost. I went down the wrong back road. So what I'm going to do on the camera, you'll see me, not exactly in person, but you'll be able to see that I actually did a U-turn, backed up, and then went back and went down the correct road. So once I actually get there, I'm going to go ahead and hurry up and open my camera so you guys can see what I mean by they'll have you on these crazy back roads. There's no addresses, there's no street lights, there's no nothing but just these little brick and mortar like roads with pebbles and rocks. And at night, it's very dangerous, and it's really scary to be driving back here. That's why I'm more leaning towards a day shift. But on here, I was trying to show you guys what happens when you do your very last order and how it will automatically close it out for you. However, that did not happen. I don't know, something glitched with my app. But I just wanted to let you guys see like the scenery of like how pushed back away from the street this is, and there's no type of lights or anything. It is a nice house. However, that's not the point. You're going to experience this where you're in these places where there's no type of anything, and if you're going by yourself, it's just you, and it can be very scary. But on here, I was trying to show you guys how my app is supposed to automatically, when I get done, reload itself and then click off and go into my updates app. But something happened and it froze, so disregard. Okay. Everybody set up their stuff. I was trying to put all these away. I'm back again with a voiceover. So on here, I'm just going to go through a couple of the things. So the first thing is this is the menu bar where you'll be able to click their calendar. Those 3 dots is whatever you have scheduled for the week. And on here, you can see if you wanted to forfeit, you would hit forfeit and then hit swipe to forfeit. And on there, you guys just see me do that. It is hectic today. It is hectic. I have 14 packages, so that's light. Hopefully, they're all close to each other. But this is what a typical morning shift will look like. All the parking spots are full. Indeed, all parking spots are full. So, I'm going to tell you guys, this was a very hard experiment for me to do because I still have my regular job. And I start work at 9 o'clock every day. So remember this when I go into details. So I'm going to tell you guys first how to sign up, what you'll need, and how quick it is. So first, when you first signed up, well, when I signed up, it was in August. So when you first sign up, they're going to ask you your government name, first, last, and if you have any aliases that you ever went by. They're going to go and do a background check, which could take, mine took, I think, 3 days. I don't know why. I don't have nothing on my background, but it took 3 days. Once you are approved, you're going to have to watch a couple videos, maybe like one that's 15 minutes and then like 2 that's like 5 minutes, something like that. It's basically just telling you about safety, what's required, and how to work the app. Once you are in the app, that's it. You're on your own, basically. So it is really important that you actually do try to watch those videos, unless you are here now on YouTube trying to figure it out because you didn't really watch the videos. But so when you first sign in, you're going to see I'll try to screen record and have it up there, but you're going to see when you open the app, you're going to set up your own profile picture, which is going to be from your shoulders up. And then what's going to happen every time you log in, if you have an Android, you're probably going to have to put your password in or set up however. I think you guys, I don't know if y'all do Face ID. I don't have Android. I don't know. But I know for iPhone, iOS users, we had the option to hit login with Face ID. So I hit login with Face ID. And then from there, the first thing you're going to see is all updates. So it'll be a drop down of every single update they have for the month or the past month that's been important to us. When you swipe over, there's going to be a button that says offers. You can click offers, and on offers, you'll be able to see your current schedule. Like say you have something already assigned to you for the week, you'll be able to see it right there. If it's 3-4 different ones, all you have to do is swipe over to the left and you can look at it that way. If you have nothing there, it will say you don't have anything for the upcoming week. Press offers to see any things that are available. Then you press the offer button. From the offer button, it'll either say 0 or there'll be something there. For me, I have mine filtered to the stations that I personally want to be able to pick up from. Because if you don't have it filtered, then they'll show you all the offers for like, I think like a 300, maybe 200 mile radius or something like that. And that could mean an hour, 2-hour drive away from you if you accidentally pick it up and then don't realize it until like maybe an hour before. But the good thing about it is you can always, once you're assigned to it, go to your calendar. Your calendar will be able to let you drop the shift. With Amazon Flex, you have a 45-minute window to drop your shift. So you have a 45-minute window to forfeit your shift, which means your shift starts at 1. You have until 12:15 to drop your shift with no penalty. When you drop shifts underneath the 45-minute period, then they mark that on your account as an issue or unreliable, whatever. And you want to stay within the fair to awesome or something. I don't know. I've been in fair for the past month because 3 people said they didn't receive a package that I delivered. So my account is still in fair. But as long as you're not at risk, which means at risk of being deactivated, then you're okay. But the thing about it is a lot of times you may pick up a shift for 3-4 days in advance. You need to make sure, even though they're going to notify you 2 hours before that shift starts, it's always best to put in your own personal phone calendar with a reminder the day before or maybe a couple hours before, so that you're not out doing something else and like, oh crap, I forgot I had this shift, because the more you drop shifts, I'm going to be honest with you, when I first started, I dropped more shifts than I actually picked up because I was not really sure about this, because it's a lot of driving, it's a lot of gas, it's a lot, and so I was just like, it'll be days I'll get off work and I'm tired. It'll be days where work would go over and I'm like, I don't really feel like jumping straight out of work and going way over there to Tampa to pick up these shifts. So I would drop it, and I felt like that really hindered me because I went from seeing a whole bunch of blocks to barely seeing anything. And I know that could be because I was unreliable,
or because it is now a lot of people in Tampa, the station in particular that I'm at, is so oversaturated to the point where I even just had my friend try to sign up and get him started on this as a little side hustle for him, and he signed up last night, and he sent me a screenshot saying, I'm gonna insert this, oh, it's on this phone, I'm gonna insert the screenshot where it was telling him like he has to be placed on a waiting list right now. They don't have any like availability. And so I'm like, what? Like, but it makes sense because recently, the past couple of weeks, has been so hard to actually get a shift. You have to be on there like ninja slice. Like, your fingers have to be click, 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 click. Like, if you're a high, like, Tampa is a lot of people, and a lot of people are finding out about this app. So it's getting really, really hard to get the good shifts. Like, when I first started, I would be able to like go on there, and there was always shifts just sitting there waiting to get picked up. Now, like, you would have to sit on there for, one time I sat on there for a whole hour trying to get a shift, because as soon as one would pop up, I would try to click it and it'll be already gone. I'm like, man, and it will just keep happening and keep happening. It would just keep happening to me over and over again. So I like, but you can't get frustrated, because if you know that your place is overpopulated where you're working, that's gonna happen to you. But you might get lucky sometimes. You might get the $150 shift. Sometimes you, like today, there was like, I was on there like for a whole maybe 10-20 minutes, and like a good one, $135 popped up for a 4 o'clock shift. I tried to grab it, somebody snatched it. Another one came for $90, somebody snatched it. And then I'm like, okay, give me 1 second, because I'm also in class while I'm doing this. So I flipped the page. I'm so mad, y'all. I flipped the page of the textbook, the work textbook, and then I hit refresh, and like 7 popped up all at once. And so I'm trying to click them, they're gone. Click them, gone. Click them, gone. And I finally got the freaking lowest one. It was like $72, and they had $90, like two $90 offers, an $81 offer, and then the $72 offer that I got. But I'm not mad at it, because every dollar adds up, so I'm gonna take it. But this is really, really, really competitive. It doesn't feel like it at first when you first start out, but when you start like going to some of these early morning shifts, especially where I work at, the parking lot is always full for the 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 5 o'clock shift. It's so many people there. So that lets you know when you're up on that app trying to get those, these are real people competing for this money, and some people do this as a full-time job. So for the people who are having a hard time finding like a real stable job in a warehouse or company or whatever, some people just use this as a substitute, because it's really good money if you're picking up multiple shifts. And that's another thing we're going to go ahead and jump right into. With Amazon Flex, it doesn't stop you from working more than 1 shift a day. So for instance, this is what a lot of people do. They start off what we call morning shift. Morning shift is breakfast, which you can pick up a shift as early as 3 a.m. Sometimes I think it was when it was 2:30 in the morning. Those shifts normally pay a lot better. You can easily get $125 shift for working in the morning, even $150. So those shifts, there's a whole bunch of people that's going to be on those, because they're going to get that price gouge where it's going to be way above what they normally try to pay us. You can do that shift. After that shift is over, time frame not when you finish, but when the clock for the time you were supposed to be done. So say you did a 3 to 7:30 shift. Once 7:30 hit, you can get back on the app and start waiting for offers. Because they're going to show you 7:31, your calendar will let you start picking up new shifts. So the next shift is what they call brunch. Well, you'll be able to then go ahead and go look towards the late morning / early afternoon shifts. So 9 to about, let's say 2. So those shifts are available to you. If you pick up an early morning shift at 9 or 10 o'clock, you may be done by 2 or 3. 2 or 3 ends, you could pick up a 4 o'clock shift. There's rarely ever 5 o'clock shift. So a 4 o'clock shift, a 6 o'clock shift, or a 7 o'clock shift. So you can do 3 shifts in one day. And that is the dinner. They call it dinner and bedtime. So you can either pick one of those shifts up, and then that'll be the rest of your day, and you would just start over again the next day or whenever the next time you wanted to work. And that's 3 different, you can easily make $200 in one day. Because if you get an early morning shift that pays you, you'll get let's say like 120, 135, because those are normally what you'll see. $135, and then you turn around and do another shift that's offering $90, you're already at $200. You don't even have to do another shift if you don't want to. But if you're like, no, I'm going to do this as a full-time job, you could pick up that third shift, or try to pick up that third shift at night, and easily be pushing close to $300 in one day. If you do this 4 times a day, 3 times 4, you can easily turn this into a real regular time, like full-time job. Now, everybody's car is different, so your mileage and gas is different. For me, now with these new prices of gas, it's about $30 to $35 to fill up my tank completely. Other people, they may be using $50 to fill up their tank, $100. It just depends on how much your car takes, like gas. So for me, it's not as expensive, but it's more expensive than I'm used to. So I'm often getting gas every single day because I'm going every day. So I did my own budget because I want y'all to see just how realistic when you factor in the gas to what you're actually making, because there's no taxes being taken out of this. You will have to pay taxes the following year, and they're going to send you a W-9. For people who don't know what that is, it's the same thing that YouTube sends out, OnlyFans sends out. Every company that does not automatically remove state taxes, federal taxes, Social Security, they will send you a W-9 and not a W-2, which shows your total income from them throughout that year, and then you'll plug it into your tax, whatever, how you say it, and they'll let you know how much you'll owe from it. So what happens is, the best way to calculate and offset some of those taxes is keeping all your gas receipts, because those technically is expenses that you're putting back into that is not going to be seen through the W-9. So every single receipt that you get from gas, keep it for taxes. Also, there's apps that let you track your mileage, which will help you. I be forgetting to turn mine on, but it'll also help you offset your taxes as well, so that they'll know that you're also putting money back into it. It's not straight profit. But I did a budget where I'm gonna try to put it up here. So this is, this started for me, my week. Let me go to it right here. I'm looking at it. Friday, November 19th. So I did Friday to Friday, but really it was Sunday to Sunday. I didn't miss any day after Sunday because I missed Saturday. I couldn't get a shift Saturday. So when we look at November 19th, here, you guys can see it. I'm going to put it up there. I did a shift, 5:45 to 10:15, and that was $81. And I went ahead. These is not going to be included in the next screenshot, so that's why I'm just reading them out loud. But then the next shift was Sunday, 4 a.m. to 8:13, and you can see there's a big difference. It's $110.50. Then Monday, I did one for 3 a.m. to 8:15. I wasn't that lucky, so I got an $81 shift. So what happens is, from Tuesday to Friday, that's a pay period. From Friday to Tuesday, that's another pay period. So they're gonna pay you every Friday, and they're gonna pay you every Tuesday. If you work a shift on Tuesday, you won't get it to Friday. If you work a shift on Friday, you won't get that to the next Tuesday. So what I did, I went ahead and put my budget up, starting on that. I think, let me see, what's the first day? I started to say I'm gonna make this a YouTube video Tuesday. So then this is where you guys will now see the newest screenshot, which is where I did my Amazon Flex budget. So on here, you can see how I labeled the shift, the cost, and how much gas I had to put in, where they sent me, and how many packages. I picked up 2 shifts that Tuesday, so I was able to make $105 on the first shift, and I turned around and did $66.50. And on here, I put the gas so you guys can see the offset of what the net versus the gross. So what I'm really retaining and what I'm really making a profit from, if that makes sense. But we're gonna go ahead and skip down to where it says Wednesday, shift 4:45 a.m. And they had some really, really good offers that morning. The day before Thanksgiving, they had some good ones, and I was mad. I was like, Lord, just give me one shift. And he gave me this $98 shift, and I got there, and we were just standing in line. And so the line started, and that often does happen. And so what happened was, Amazon put up all these 3-hour shifts, and the warehouse didn't have any shifts for 3 hours. or 2 hours at that. So what happens is when they don't have a shift that meets the criteria of what you are scheduled for, they have to discharge you. So say you have a 5-hour shift, they could give you a 4-hour shift because technically you're doing less work. But say you come in and you have a 3.5-hour shift, and the only thing they have available is starting 4 hours, 4.5 hours, 5 hours. They cannot give you that because that's over your workload. They can give you under your workload. I've gotten a 5-hour shift and they didn't have anything close. They had a 2-hour shift, which ended up only being 8 packages that took me an hour. So they can do that, but they can't overwork you. They could underwork you and you still get paid because you're doing something. So what happened was everybody that had the 4:30 and 4:45, those are 3-hour shifts. We all finished around the same time. So we all got discharged because they had nothing for 3 hours or under. Everybody else that was there with 4-hour shifts, they had to stay in line and they just got whatever was there. So on there, you'll see it says discharge gas $0. Because I went straight home. I didn't have to put no gas in my car. I didn't have to waste any gas. It was just, and I went back to bed. They didn't have any more offers for that day because they actually closed early that Wednesday. And then Thursday morning, I got up. You see, I had a $90 shift. Then I did put gas in my car. I put $21.98. And it just, so on and so forth. And I even started to put, like, on here, I had 18 packages. I was supposed to finish that Friday shift at 6 p.m. I ended up finishing at 4:53. So it only took me 1 hour and 53 minutes to finish that shift. But the shift technically was a 3-hour shift. And that will often happen to you. Once, the better you get, the faster you'll be able to get through every shift. So on here altogether for the week, from what I started calculating, let's start there. From what I started to calculate, my gross for the week, as you guys can see, $623. The total cost in gas, $105.66. So what I went ahead and did, because that was only Tuesday to Sunday, I forgot, I told you I forgot to add in the other days. So let's go ahead and put the other ones. Where is it? So when you put in Sunday from the week before, the starting date, $110 and I believe 50 cents, yeah. Then the $81. Okay. So without putting the one from F, the Friday one, when you just go ahead and do from Sunday literally to Sunday, I made a profit, net profit, gross of $814.50. Now, of course, I think maybe take $20 off of that. So we'll do minus $20, and then we'll go ahead and put, where is that other note? Minus $105, $105.66. So this is my real profit. $668.84. Okay, I couldn't get it out. It's too many numbers. So the money that I took out, as far as what I subtracted, was just the cost of gas. So basically, I'm just getting all that gas money back, and this is the raw, what I'm actually, new money in my bank account. Everything else is just the residuals of what was taken out for gas. But the thing about it is, sometimes, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, it doesn't feel like I made $800. One, because I'm waiting for tomorrow's cash out, but two, because you're not getting all that at once. Unless you're being that person who does multiple shifts in a day, then you may get a $600, $700 cash out in that weekend time frame or that weekday time frame. But me, I'm getting $200, maybe $300 cash outs. So it's very small, petite. Doesn't feel like it, especially when you're like me. I had a lot of bills to pay, so when the money would come in, it'll go right out. It didn't feel like it. I had to get this fixed. I had to get that fixed. Rent's due. Da 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 da. So it doesn't really feel like that big of a profit when you're moving. But it is very, very helpful because you know every couple days you're gonna be seeing that money in your bank account. You don't have to wait. You have to. But this is not a job for a person who doesn't like to have to get in and get out their car. This isn't a job for a person who doesn't like to sometimes wait in line. This isn't a job for a person who doesn't have a good car that's not reliable. This is for a person who has a dependable car, who is patient, because the first couple times it's gonna be, you never know where they're gonna send you, and you never know what part of town you're gonna be in. There's been times I've been scared shitless because I'm on this dark dirt road and there's no street lights and then it looks like somebody's gonna jump out and kidnap me in any second. There's been times where I'm like completely lost, even though the GPS says I'm there. I don't see a house or anything there. There's been times where it's early in the morning and it's like no cars on the road and it's just you. And you're like feeling like cloud nine because you can rip and run the streets, but then you get on the road that's like pothole city and it's dirt and it's nasty, it's scary, and then your car is all wabbly, whoop, blablu, and you're like, yeah, I don't like this. And then there's times where you have really smooth shifts where they got you in a really nice neighborhood. You feel safe, nobody's harassing or bothering you, which I have not had that experience. Most of the time I never see them. I do see them sometimes, like Halloween. I seen maybe every single last person I delivered to because people were sitting outside with their candy bowls, so I got to actually see people. But for the most part, you never see their faces. But there's even times where it's so like, it's been so cold recently in Florida, you're freezing in your car, like you just like, bro, all this in and out this cold weather, like it's just a lot, you know. And then there's times you may get to the station and it's packed and you have nowhere to park and you're like, this is a lot, bro. And or you get these big packages these big packages, and your car is a minute car. This is another thing you have to think about. If you don't really have a big car, this may not work for you because you never know the size of the packages that you're gonna get. There's people who do Whole Foods or Amazon Fresh is what we call it here, Amazon Fresh, and then there's people who do what's the other one? I don't do anything but Same Day Hub. Same Day Hub for us is where you're gonna get straight packages. There's no food, there's no perishables, no. I don't want to do, because I don't want to rely on tips. Some people say they make as much money as we do in tips in a 2-hour. Congratulations to you guys. I don't want to do that. Because there's no guarantee that a person's going to tip you. There's no guarantee that, you're going to make that estimated, because they'll show you like how much you could possibly make, as far as with tips. But you're like, what is it called? Flat fee will be the lowest price. So a lot of times it says Amazon Whole Food Fresh, and then it's like $30 to $54. I don't want that $30 because I done spent at least $15 to $20 in gas. That's why I often don't pick up shifts that are like anything under $60 to me isn't worth it. Because even if I do a $60 shift, I'm only probably going to spend $15 to $20 in gas. So I still made $40 at least. You know what I'm saying? But for me, my whole thing is you got to figure out what works best for you and what you're okay picking up. You know what I'm saying? There's people who pick up the $50 just because they stay right next to the warehouse and they're not burning any gas. And by the time they get done, even if they have to take the package back to the station, because that does happen when you can't deliver packages, they do have you return it back to the station, which eats up gas. If they live in the vicinity of that station, it doesn't matter to them because they're so close that they're really not burning any gas. However, I stay 20 miles away from my station, so I am always burning gas. I personally think the best tip for everybody, which I learned, was before you start your shift, fill your tank all the way up. So for instance, say you decide in the middle of the day, let me see if they got anything on here. And you go on there and it's like, oh, let me do this. And you pick it up. And you're like, oh, I only got half a tank of gas, but it's down the street. Okay, well, before you drive there, find a station closest to there and then fill all the way up. And then don't refill your tank up until you decide, like, so when you get home, don't automatically fill your tank up unless you know in the middle of the night you're going to get on the app and you're going to go and do a 3 o'clock shift. Like, it's no purpose, because if you fill it up and then the next day you decide, I'm not gonna go, I'm just gonna chill out and stuff like that, and then the next day goes, no, I'm not gonna go, but you're driving your car around, you filled your car up, even though you had half a tank of gas, you filled it all the way up, and then say in the middle of the night you decide, okay, I'm gonna go again. Now that full tank you put in there 2 days ago is back to the halfway point. Versus if you know, I don't know how everybody's car works, but this is me, for instance. My car, I could drive it around for 2 days and the gas really won't move anywhere. So I can still now turn around and only put $15 in there to get it back full. Versus if you decide to put it all the way up and then you're driving around, you may get to a point where you're like, this isn't really secure. I don't really feel safe going to work with it, like wherever it's at, and then you turn around and put another maybe $10, $15 in there. I hope I'm explaining that correctly. It doesn't sound like I am. But versus just if it's going low, let it go to a point where it's like not on the E, but like if it's low, okay, fill it all the way up. Do one big shebang wang instead of keep doing it like every other day. Don't fill it up if you're not gonna go to work. Now, if you get to a point where you're low, fill it all the way up. But don't be, wasting extra gas, because you gotta remember this takes away from your profit. I'm not the best at explaining stuff. But I have to go because it's 1:20 and my shift starts at 2:45 and I got like a 30-minute drive. So I'm gonna go ahead. I have to stop at a gas station. They had double charged my card yesterday, so I have to get that money back. But I just kind of want to explain this to you. If you guys are interested, please sign up. But just know this is not my only thing, not my only hustle, not my only side hustle that I've ever done or picked up. And I'm going to make a video about the apps that I currently have in my phone and things that if you can't get into Amazon Flex because you don't have a car or whatever the case may be, I have other things that don't require as much driving. And I do have other things that you will be driving around if you decide to do this. But I love you guys. And until next time, Jones and Gems, peace.